Smarty Guts, How a Happy Gut Leads to a Happier, Healthier You. Created and read by Rachel Malidi. I'm not actually going to read the foreword here. If you'd like to pause the video to have a read about the reasons as to why the book came about, to find a little bit more about me as well, then please pause the video here and have a read. This book was created in honour of my lovely dad and for my son and daughter. There's also a disclaimer here, so please note that I am not a medical professional. The information provided in this book is intended for informational purposes only and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical diagnosis, advice, or treatment, and always seek the advice of your physician or any other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have read in this book. It's also really important that we are mindful and informed about our dietary choices to maintain a healthy relationship with food and to avoid the risk of developing eating disorders. And this is why I always recommend with this book that it is read. Little readers are supervised by older readers who can guide and help them along the way after reading this pre-teaching part here. So again, I'm not going to read this out today, but if you'd like to pause the video here and have a little read into the research and evidence regarding diet-related disease and the role that inflammation plays in that. The quote at the top, all disease begins in the gut, acknowledges how our intestinal tract acts as a barrier to harmful substances from entering our bloodstreams, and how if this barrier is compromised, then inflammation can occur. We have some pre-teaching of vocabulary. So exposing children to a rich and diverse vocabulary is crucial for their language development and overall cognitive growth. Whilst children may not grasp the meaning of these words immediately, reading a variety of books exposes them to new words and phrases that they might not encounter in everyday conversation. And this is the reason why we have our vocabulary here. So take the time to regularly teach, model and discuss these words and their meanings with the young readers. We have our catalogue of vocabulary for this book. And then we have our doodle pages. So this is how we teach the vocabulary. For example, fibre. So I've drawn some plants here and explained to my children that we find fibre in plants. Plants are things that we grow. We were talking about mental health and how that's to do with our brain and our thinking and how our thoughts affect our feelings and our actions. We've been talking about digestion and what it means to break down food in our stomach using our stomach acids. And we discussed inflammation, how you can get good inflammation, which all of us need in order for our body to heal. However, some inflammation can be detrimental to our health if it's continuous and it's not healing or fighting if we've hurt ourselves or something like that. So an example here is my children know that if my diet's really bad for a while, then I tend to get high inflammation and my back hurts, the joints in my back hurt. So we had a discussion around that. Some vocabulary for this book you will need to go through here, and obviously the definitions are here. We go over autoimmune disease, absorbed, bacteria, cells, clinicians, digest or digested, disease, diversifying or diversify, gut, fibre, immune system, inflammation, impacts, large intestine and mental health. And then on this page, the words that we've looked at already. My children know microbes, so microbes have the same start as the word microscope and microscopic. Micro means teeny tiny, and we'll never be able to see them with our eyes. That's why we need to use a microscope. We discussed well-being, how our organs are inside our body, and we discussed the term organic, how we compare organic produce to non-organic, and some sprays are some that are put over plants and things to keep pests away contain toxic chemicals, hence why as our family our personal preference is to buy organic whenever we can. We discuss here microbes, microscopic, nutrients, esophagus, organs, organic, organism, physical health, polyphenols, small intestine, stomach, ultra-processed food and drinks, which you'll also hear me referring to as UPF or UPFD, and our well-being. Okay, ready for reading. Gut is a word used to describe the body parts, the organs, that your food and drink travel through when they are swallowed, digested, absorbed, and pooped out. Inside your body, your gut looks like this. Number 1, your esophagus. Your food and drink travel down here from your mouth into your stomach. Number 2, stomach. This is where your food is stored and slowly released into the small intestine. Your stomach produces enzymes to break down food. Number 3, small intestine. Food travels here from your stomach. This is where the majority of digestion happens, along with nutrient absorption. Number 4, your large intestine, your colon. Water and vitamins K and B are produced by gut bacteria and are absorbed here. This is where your poop is made. And number 5, your butthole. That's my children's absolute favourite part of this book, and we all know what happens there, don't we? Here they are. Microscopic creatures called microbes, bacteria, fungi, algae and viruses are tiny living things found all around us. They live in water, soil and in the air. Trillions, lots of microbes also live in and on your body. Collectively, we call them microbiome. Your gut microbiome includes both good, beneficial, and bad, harmful bacteria. Maintaining a healthy balance between these bacteria is crucial for your overall health. Microbiome in your gut is very important. It helps you to digest food and controls how your immune system works, along with your weight, heart, and brain health. So there is a connection between your brain health and your gut. Your immune system fights off harmful invaders and heals injuries. When actively protecting your body from infections and diseases, it releases chemicals that cause inflammation. A lot of our immune cells live in our gut, so a healthy gut microbiome, also known as a diverse microbiome, can work better to reduce inflammation in the body. This lowers the risk of our immune system causing autoimmune disease. And here we have super microbes defending our body against the harmful bacteria and harmful bugs in our bellies. Science tells us that what you eat impacts your gut microbiome and your immune system. Ultra-processed food and drinks, UPF, UPFD, lack essential nutrients that your good bacteria need to eat to thrive. Unhealthy diets consisting of UPF, your lifestyle choices, environment, and certain medicines can cause imbalances where the bad bacteria outweighs the good in your gut microbiome. This harms your gut health because it leads to less different types of microscopic creatures. This is called decreased microbiome diversity. So we've got our super bugs here, our super belly bugs, wanting to eat healthy food that fills their bellies. And when we give them food that lacks nutrients like this stuff, although it tastes yummy, it doesn't feed our super bugs. It only feeds the bad ones, which can cause tummy imbalances, which isn't good for our overall health. And the great belly bugs, the super belly bugs, say, oh no, not this food again. No, I'm so hungry. Our microbes enjoy munching on plant-based fibre the most. So, if your diet lacks fibre, your microbes go hungry. Do you know what happens then? They start to eat you. Yes, those hungry little creatures start munching on your gut lining. This is problematic because your gut lining serves as a protective barrier, preventing harmful bacteria and toxins from entering your bloodstream. Your immune system spots the baddies entering your body via your leaky gut and goes into defense mode to try and protect you. An imbalance in gut microbiome and leaky gut syndrome are linked to food sensitivities, organs not working properly, and long-term, also known as chronic, inflammation. Clinicians have now discovered inflammation is the root cause of most diseases. The food we eat is important in nourishing our bodies and preventing and treating diseases. The gut changes when we change the way we eat. And you can see here, plant-based fibre, when we eat it, it repairs our gut. It fills those holes so those bad bacteria can't escape. Every time we eat or drink, we are either fighting disease or feeding it. The best way to look after your gut and overall health is by diversifying your microbiome. This means eating a colourful variety of whole foods and foods containing polyphenols, mainly from plant sources like washed fresh fruits and veggies, organic if possible, legumes, beans, lentils, whole grains, nuts and seeds. Also include foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids. These are essential fats that you must get from your diet. This is my daughter's favourite page. You can see all the fruits and veggies, or lots of fruits and veggies that are red, fruits and veggies that are orange, that are yellow, green, blue, purple and indigo. So see how many of those do you think you eat? How many colours of the rainbow do you eat every day? Different whole foods offer a variety of fibre and nutrients, each supporting different microbes in the gut. Your mega microbes love eating fermented foods with probiotic value, like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, and kombucha. They also enjoy munching on foods rich in prebiotics, such as garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, bananas, and oats. It's also really important to stay hydrated every day. Make sure you drink lots of filtered tap water if you can, or spring water, to support your gut lining and maintain a healthy balance of good bacteria. Spring water contains important minerals like calcium, magnesium, and potassium. It's also low in contaminants such as chlorine, fluoride, and heavy metals, making it a cleaner and safer choice. Other ways to stay happy and healthy include exercising regularly. Physical activity increases the diversity of your gut bacteria. Reducing stress. Chronic stress can negatively impact your gut health, so practices such as meditation, yoga, and deep breathing can be beneficial. Avoiding unnecessary antibiotics. While sometimes necessary, antibiotics can disrupt the balance of your gut microbiome. Only use them when prescribed by a healthcare professional. Spending time in nature. Nature has a calming effect on us and reduces stress. Sun exposure boosts your vitamin D levels, which is essential for a healthy immune system. Breathing in fresh air improves oxygen levels in your body, aiding overall health. Spending time in nature exposes you to a variety of microbes, which enriches and diversifies your gut microbiome. It's good to get outside. To stay happy and healthy, remember, we should try to feed our microbiome 30 different plant types a week. That sounds a lot, but it's only about 5 plants a day. And if you're allowed them and you can have them, that includes nuts and seeds. When we first started this journey, we really struggled thinking, my goodness, that's such a lot. But now my children have around 10 plants in their breakfast alone, with things like flaxseed, chia, nuts sprinkled on. Once you get into the routine and the rhythm of things, it does get a lot easier. And even if you just try to make one change a week, over the course of a few months or a year, those changes build up, and then you look back on your journey and realise, actually, we've changed so much and it's become less overwhelming and much easier to facilitate. So limit your UPF, your ultra processed foods and drinks, as much as you can. They're part of our lives and we have them too. It's about being mindful. Along with simple sugars, saturated fats and foods high in salt. These can negatively affect your gut microbiome by promoting the growth of harmful bacteria. Finally, make sure you get a good night's sleep every night. During sleep, your body goes into repair mode, healing tissues, muscles, and organs. Getting a good night's sleep is vital for both your physical and mental health. Be smart when it comes to your gut. And that's the end for our little readers. If you're an older reader or an adult, then please continue. And again, I'm not going to read all of this out, but if you want to pause the video here, you can have a look at some of the research. There's a diagram here that shows the causes and consequences of low-grade systemic chronic inflammation. And then there's a little bit of information here regarding how we can make informed, more conscious choices when shopping in the supermarket. For example, a shop-bought lemon cake here has a lot of added extra chemicals and harmful ingredients that, you know, over the course of a lifetime and long-term use can cause inflammation. Whereas if we bake something at home, it just has a handful of ingredients. So it's making those small conscious changes that can make a big difference to our health. And again here, the same thing with bread, shop-bought bread. But then if you're making at home, it's simply 4 ingredients. And I will just finish by reading a quote, final thoughts here. Again, pause the video here if you want to read this through. Alternatively, you can purchase this book via Amazon and then obviously have your own copy. So finally it says here, addressing the core causes of inflammation may be crucial in preventing and treating many chronic diseases in the future. And finally, all of the research. So again, if you want to pause this and have a deeper dive into all of the research and sources that have been used in order to create this book, then they're all there. And as I said, you can purchase a hard copy for yourself via Amazon. And here's the back. Okay, hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to have a look at the accompanying lessons, the lesson bundles that come with this book to learn all about your gut. And the experiment at the end on rumbohub.com is making your own poo. Who doesn't want to make their own poo?